Highlights in the Trace Explore screen allow Coralogix users to cut through the noise, especially when there's lots and lots of information, and see trends across all of their data. So to quickly explain how this works, I'm in the Trace Explore screen. I arrived here via Explore, Tracing. I can see I have lots and lots of traces available to me here. A typical use case for this is when I'm looking for errors. So if I open up my Show Only Errors tab, when I toggle this, I am now filtering for only those spans that contain errors. I can see I have a few of them. There's 7,000 of them in just the last 15 minutes. And it's very difficult for me to understand what are the trends going on here. I could configure graphs and things like that. I have lots of options. One of those options is highlighting. So when I select highlights, what happens in the highlights view is it goes away and analyzes all of the data in view and helps me to understand what's actually happening. So I can see, for example, that I have lots and lots of different fields here, and I have lots and lots of different ways of showing that data. So if I indicate the errors, for example, it's the same because the filtered view is currently set to errors. If I was to select only the all spans view and then just filter by errors, it will do that as well. We can see we have 7.09k spans that we're highlighting, which is the same as the count here. And then we have a bunch of different ways that we can sort and filter this information. So I can do largest value first, which will show me the highest values. I can show even spread values first, which shows me those different tag values that have the same number of different individual unique values. For example, if I'm sending an equal amount of spans from two different AWS regions, they will appear in even spread values because I can see that 50% are coming from one and 50% are coming from the other. It's an even spread. If I add a third and it becomes a third of the data comes from each of them, then that will also be an even spread value. In other words, when the count is the same for each unique value of a given tag that exists on a given span. And you can see, for example, while this might look different, you can see here that actually what we've got is a unique UUID, so an event ID, and so it's basically one is for each of them. We can see here that we have, for example, everything is coming from the same Kubernetes namespace name, default. So the even spread is really great for two different use cases in my experience. One is when we're trying to highlight where the same value, basically. So we can just see there's just the one value here. But when we can see also when the even number of traffic is happening across multiple things. This is really nice because you can see, for example, okay, if I have an error and I'm looking for the root cause of an error, then an even spread of values might indicate where it's not, which is quite nice. So for example, this DB statement here, I'm seeing errors across update, delete, and insert, but I'm not seeing them on read. So that's really powerful because it might tell me actually, okay, everything that I'm doing here is spread across these update, delete, and insert. However, this is an even spread of values. So I can also say, well, actually, no, there's probably no read values. So actually everything that's being done in this use case is right, and I've already filtered on errors. So there's a pattern here. Only writes are causing errors. That's a really powerful use case. The next is uneven spread of values. So uneven spread of values is a way of indicating when one label is dominating the group, basically. There's a different way of looking at this. You could have one or two labels dominating the group while others are smaller, but it's very, very common that one label dominates the group. For example, here in table name, I'm seeing that all of my errors are coming from this particular table and not from this one. So that tells me that actually the root cause is probably closer to this table. I can see a lambda ARN here. This particular lambda function is causing trouble, and this lambda function is causing a little bit of trouble, but not too much. So the chances are this is where we're at. This is what I mean when I talk about the cross-cutting insights, because now I don't have to go and scroll through lots and lots of spans to work out what's going on. I can look at the highlights and see the trends. I can sort the tag name by A to Z, so I can see it in alphabetical order, or indeed Z to A, reverse alphabetical order as well. I can also filter by all tags, or tags that appear only a certain amount of time. So for example, less than or equal to 80%, or less than or equal to 80, and so on. So I can actually filter by the frequency at which they appear, which is really nice as well. So highlights basically give you the option to lock into the specific patterns that are happening along the data in your data set. And a really common flow is for you to filter your data set down to what you want to see, and then open highlights so you don't have to search through every single thing. And this is really, really powerful because it means you have a faster MTTR. You can also connect this with alarms. You can connect this with a variety of other functionality in Coralogix to rapidly accelerate your investigation. That's what highlights are really all about in the Tracing Explore screen.